In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Munson here, Carl Munson here. Bon dia alegria to you from expatsportugal.com. It's the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. And it's Feel Good Friday. Frankie's going to be here at around 9 o'clock. Frank, live from the Algarve, our old mate Frank, hence my outfit this morning. Carl reporting in live from the principal's office. Let's see what he's got to say about that. Going to be a lot of fun when Frank joins us a little bit later on at 9. And hopefully Mia. Mia's got a few problems going on with pets, a particular pet, and we send her all the best. But I thought maybe this morning, talking about this last night on the Premium Plus session, generally speaking, what goes on in the Premium Plus session stays in the Premium Plus session, but I'm sure they won't mind me because I'm going to get help here with this thing. Who was it who came up with porty panic? Was it you, James, who came up with that phrase, porty panic? If I can just quickly describe it now, it's where you are very proud of yourself and your Portuguese, and you might say, hola bom dia, hola boa tarde, hola boa noite to somebody, and maybe even go as far as to say, hola bom dia, queria meio de leite, faz favor. And then the person behind the counter, imagining you to speak more Portuguese than that, blasts you with something of a tirade in Portuguese. And you stand there. Desculpa, falo pouco português. What to do in the porty panic situation is what we're going to be talking about with Mia. And even if she isn't able to join us, we do wish you and your dog well this morning, Mia, and hope everything's going well with the pooch. But if you can join us, that'll be fantastic. And perhaps you can help us out with the porty panic situation. I think we've all been there, haven't we? Those who've tried have occasionally found themselves wanting and in that position. It's as you live here and you try a little bit of Portuguese, it becomes a pretty well-trodden path, actually. How to get beyond that? We need some phrases, don't we? We need some tactics, some strategies to get beyond that situation. I want to make a little bit of an announcement about getting a bit of pressure, talking about politics or not talking about politics. I think I've got a solution for that. So I'll make a little bit of an announcement, address that nearer to 9 o'clock this morning. But let's see what's going on in the chat, shall we? How are you feeling on this Feel Good Friday? Don't let the buggers get you down, basically. Frank, yes, indeed, Andrew. Carl, it's Man Cave Day as well. Look at this already. Bon dia todos in capital letters. The old caveman capitals there. Morning, Andy. Says, oh, what's happening here? That is a tash. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Banana Slug. You have got competition here from a hairy slug living on that man's face in the picture. Now, I hope I'm not being rude to that person or getting myself into trouble here. But that you will agree is quite a tash, quite a flavor saver of face furniture there. Who is this? We will find out, I'm sure, when we do the Portuguese history this morning. Bon dia, sweet birds of youth. Wow. What? Oh, yeah. Talking of sweet birds of youth in our youth, 80s Depeche Mode band. We lost Andy Fletcher from the band, R.I.P. Andy Fletcher. And, of course, Ray Liotta passed on yesterday as well. You remind me of 80s music, Prof, I'm afraid to say, and triggering memories like that. Very footballish history today. Okay. I think it's beginning to become clearer, only a little bit. But is he the football? He's to do with football. I'm not going to embarrass myself any more than that, than I might have done already. James is in with, what you got? Come on, mouse. Oh, yes. Bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta a todos from James this morning with a Will Rogers quote of the day. I never met a man that I didn't like. Wow, did I read that right? I never met a man that I didn't like. Now, that's an old-fashioned sentiment, isn't it? There's something good to find in just about everybody, isn't there, if you look really hard. Bon dia. Alegria Gumpers from the T-Duck. Damais dia de sol e calor em Lisboa. Yeah, wearing a turtleneck was not the ideal fashion choice today with that in mind, T-Duck. T-Duck, the new bit of kit is amazing. I put it together and I was ready to use it on the calls last night. Fantastic call, I have to say. Christina was anyone in on the webinar last night? The last night's webinar was superb. It was informative. It was fun. We had Christina and we had Gilda together on the screen. Everything you need to know about Portugal's D7 visa was discussed in the most incredible way. She is boom, boom. Talk about pão, pão, queijo, queijo. That is Christina Amaral. And Gilda's pretty straight as well, isn't she? As you'll know if you watch the extract from Monday's show, which is now on our YouTube channel, where Carl gets roasted about sardines. And again, you wouldn't roast them because you'll get told off by Gilda if you do that. Barbecuing only, salt, etc. Just check it out. Not now. After the show, if you want to have a little bit of a laugh at my expense, why don't you take a look at the YouTube channel after the show, please? Yes, and Andy's here as well. Special thanks to Andy this morning. Okay, Baldilocks is in. Tony, Moaz too. Stephen. Let's get to all of these lovely comments there. Well, it was already at 8:36. The comments are piling up, and I'm struggling to keep up 6 minutes into the show. This is fantastic. Nothing new there, though, I suppose. Portuguese sayings. Ter macaquinhos na cabeça. To have little monkeys inside your head. Oh, my word. That is so prescient, is it not? And contemporary. It's getting worse as well, folks. Someone who has strange or illogical ideas. Well, that will be everyone then, wouldn't it? Come on, let's be fair. Estar com a pulga. That's fleas, isn't it? Atrás da orelha. Have a flea in your ear. Or a flea behind your ear. Someone's feeling suspicious. Oh, okay. That could be. There are a number of possible translations or interpretations of having a flea in your ear. In the British idiom, I think sending somebody away with a flea in their ears to give them something to think about. Am I right? But if someone's feeling suspicious, if you've got a flea behind and not in your ear, excellent. Estar com a pulga atrás da orelha. And there's some good Portuguese in there, isn't there? Atrás, what's that called? A preposition. Atrás, and some good nouns in there for you as well. That's great. And finally, then, on the Portuguese sayings, bicho de sete cabeças, a seven-headed beast, a huge complication. Well, I'll come back to that. Maybe that's what the political podcast should be called, the seven-headed beast. It's not enough heads, though, is it? Let's face it. Anonymous quotes, then, of the day, too. We're left wondering who said these. It's a beautiful day. I think I'll skip my meds and stir things up a bit. I thought you all did that, good gumpers. I thought that was a recipe for a spicy morning. Who doesn't like to skip their meds and stir things up a bit? None of you should be doing that, I should add. Please drink responsibly, take your meds responsibly, do everything else that you're meant to be doing responsibly. And I think that just about covers everything. Not that you'll take any notice of that whatsoever. I don't understand how I can remember every word of a song from 1984, but I can't remember why I walked into the kitchen. Too right. It's true, isn't it? And look at this. Our phones fall, we panic. Our friends fall, we laugh. It's an especially German thing, that, and British, I think. The old Schadenfreude there, finding humor in other people's misfortune, I think. But yeah, drop your phone on the calçada and it's like, oh, my phone. Yeah, there's a great analysis of modern people's priorities. Okay, let's go here right now. Okay, there aren't enough people singing. Okay, I'm going to do that again, and you're all going to join in. If we can't agree politically, we can at least sing together the universal language of music. So take it away. Just can't get enough. Hey, that was funny. Funny? Oh. Boom. There we go. Pow at the end there, you could even say. And a tribute to Depeche Mode and Ray Liotta in the middle there. Andy Fletcher and Ray Liotta, R.I.P. Okay, and I do hope I can tell if you're singing along or not. So some of you I'm very disappointed in, but I'm not going to let it get between us. Others, yes, well done. Very good. And you will, don't worry about having your friends and relatives tutting. Oh, God, are you listening to that again? Do not let them put you off. Hum along to the history theme tune like nobody's listening, watching, or is going to judge you. Because they will, let's face it, but don't let that get to you. All right, we have some, God, hold on a minute. I've got to do the... Before I move on, I actually got to do the Portuguese history. That's where I was. And like I say, the comments, the chat is vigorous this morning, very vigorous. Okay, so today in Portuguese history, you've heard the music, now let's hear the history. Today in Portuguese history, 1987, Porto becomes second Portuguese team to win the European Cup, 2-1 versus Bayern Munich there. Arthur George. Is that him in the picture? I think it is, isn't it? What a tash. Arthur the Tash George joined Porto as manager for the 84-85 season, where he won 3 national champion titles and 2 Taça de Portugal titles. But his greatest success was to win, the European Cup. Sorry, something repeated on me there. A little bit of Portuguese pão, actually, with strawberry jam on. Now, if he's the boss in the changing room, and he's talking to you, you're just going to be looking at that tash on you, going up and down and blowing in the breeze sorry, boss, did you say something? I was just mesmerized by your moustache. Today in Portuguese history, 2, Boa Vista, 2001, dateline, become first non-Big 3 team to win Primeira Liga since 1946. Those fans would have been happy if they were still alive. My goodness, that's incredible, isn't it? Boa Vista, first non-Big 3 team to win the Primeira Liga since 1946. Yes, very football flavored this morning, or soccer, as you Americans like to call it. And you're wrong to do so, but we'll let you have it this morning. God Squad tip of the day. Don't take advice on fitness from a man who breaks his scales. I wonder. I'm not sure if we should. Hear that? Look, he mounted his scales, and who doesn't like to mount their scales first thing in the morning? And they cracked like that. Then he replaced them with these. Are these scales, or is that a flattened Darth Vader face? But that would give you a certain amount of satisfaction, wouldn't it, to stand on Darth Vader's face in the morning, like, get off! Get off my face! Get off my face! Your lack of face troubles me. Your weight on my face troubles me as well. Anyway. Those are the new. If you've just tuned in, don't worry. Those are the new scales from Coach Turner. Drop and give me 25. No, drop and give me 5. Then have a rest, and then give me another 5 when you're ready. Is how we could do it with Growing Old Disgracefully. Growing Old Disgracefully. Thought of the day when we do press ups, and who doesn't like to do a press up first thing in the morning? If you know what I mean. Sexta-feira, the only day we're sexing it. We're also doing a plank. 2 for 1. Who doesn't like 2 for 1? First, look, I'm ruining this for you, Coach Turner. Let me read that sensibly now. God Squad thought of the day when we do press ups, we're also doing a plank. That's who doesn't doing a plank. That's 2 for 1. Very good, marvelous. And Coach Turner has missed Frank and is looking forward to him joining us this morning. What, I wonder, does Frank have up his sleeve? Probably a bottle of wine, if we know Frank. Tony Baldylocks is in. How you doing, mate? Stephen's in as well, and Brian Taylor, who I think is working on the video, the slow vertical rotisserie video that we are thinking about and looking forward to. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rebel Mama, for your jingle. I'll be working on that. Good work. You're a natural, Rebel Mama. And Baddy, Bon di Alegria, a lovely day to move house. Oh, it's going to be hot. My goodness. Moving to another Airbnb for 2 weeks until we get our house in San Martino de Porto. I'm out and about at lunchtime, Baddy, but I might be able to help you later on when all the work's done, if that's okay. Moaz. Bon dia, Carl e a todos. Look at this, Brian. You've got to stop this work getting in the way business. That's very disappointing. Anna, bon dia, alegria. No more COVID symptoms. Well done, Anna. Bon fin semana. Going into the weekend. Well and in style. Owen's here as well. Bon fin semana, everyone. And from Moaz to you, Anna. Bon dia, beautiful lady. And I'm glad you are getting better. We all are. Thank you very much. And I think Gary's ready for the weekend. Thank God it's Friday, says Gary. Morning to you, Gary. Not me. What? It wasn't you who came up with Porty Panic. Okay, who was that? Good morning. One more day to shine, and outside is also shining. Oh, are you doing a little bit of that yoga, a special yoga where if you know what I mean, where one can shine in the privacy of one's own home. But I know it all too well. Yes, so Portu Panic. Yes, okay, yeah, fair enough. Hola, bon dia. Thank you for the context. In the contextless age that we live in, thank you for that, James. Hola, bon dia, os imigrantes e extranjeros. The immigrants, the strangers, the foreigners. Good morning to you from Rebel Mama. And Mark, bon dia, alegria todos. All the best, says Owen with the move baddie. And look at this. Andy's here, right? Special commendation. One of these for you, Andy. Cock a hoop, cock of the north. How many more times, how many different ways can I say it? Bon dia todos from the glorious Barrada. From where? Fantastic events emanate. Let's have a look at some of them. Now, I mentioned, announced yesterday live on the show, it was a gifted to us by Astrid. Astrid, thank you so much for this. This is superb. You can now add your events. Now, people can, why is it Portuguese people don't? Oh, and they've all gone. Where are the So it's just a little bit of a bug. It's a little bit of a bug, everybody. That's only the Expats Portugal events. Hold on a minute. Have they disappeared? Maybe I need to be logged in. That is the glitch. That is the glitch. Okay, I have to come back to that. You need to be logged in. And ideally, we don't want you to have to be logged in to see the events. That one might be a little bit exclusive. So let me, now I know what's going on. Technology, eh? What do you like? And Teams had nothing to do with this on this occasion. So hold on a minute. Logging in. Yeah, come back to that. But the special commendation, the Barcelo Award goes to Andy this morning because he has been prolifically not only sending me events, but now posting them up in the place where they rightfully belong. And for any of you who say, oh, why is it Portuguese people don't tell us about these events? Well, it's because they know that they're on, as we've discovered on the show. But we can do something about that now. Look at this. What's on in Portugal? If you go to the website now and if you're logged in, you can see the Festival of the Tremosões. Kids Festival, free kids. Portugal news. Oh, no, that's me there, isn't it? That's us, everybody. That's the listing for the show there and a few of the regulars. I've got to update that. We've got people missing from that picture. Night of the Fado dinner. That sounds like a murder mystery as well, doesn't it? Who went missing? I mean, we're already missing them and singing Fado in the hope that they will return before they might not return if it's a murder mystery, of course. But Night of the Fado dinner. Noite de Fados, and everything where free food is or cheap food is featured is underlined by Andy. Amadeo Mota, I beg your pardon. Segunda Caminhada, Almoço, lunch there in Fogueira, Sangalhos, Bairrada. Look at all these wine tasting and lunch, €15, including a t-shirt, walk, tasting, and hog roast lunch. €15 for all of that. Amazing. That's why it's so important that Andy does this. That's why it's so important that you should as well. I'm shooting on you, everybody. T-shirt, cap, lunch and drink at the walk and lunch at Ponta de Vagos, as well as the Feriado Municipal de Águeda. Look at that. Andy, you have been busy, and we thank you for it, sir. And we're looking forward to other parts of the country being in there also. Who's going to be second? Who can beat Andy with prolific posting of events? That is absolutely fantastic. A great development for Expats Portugal and the community here. So thank you, Astrid, for enabling that. That's fantastic. What's this? Why can't I at anyone? Did you all block me? Sniff. Oh, come on, folks. That's not how we roll. Stop blocking. Stop blocking. We are the... Okay, I'll talk about the political thing now, because this seems like the right moment to do it, doesn't it? Someone's had a go at me on YouTube. The old stuff. We've addressed this. You might have missed me addressing it, of course, a context again. All right, so let's deal with this now. This Good Morning Portugal, in case you hadn't noticed, Expats Portugal, it's about helping people move to Portugal. And is that a bit of toast in my beard? It's about helping people move to Portugal and enjoy life once they're here in Portugal, okay? It's not about global politics and people being right about politics and point scoring and all that sort of stuff, as much fun as that can be. This is not the place for that, okay? It happens from time to time. I know this is life. It happens from time to time. But generally speaking, that's not what this show is about. And my concern about talking a lot about the thing generally known as politics, which doesn't have much politics in it anyway, let's face it, not our original hopes and dreams for how we can help each other through political systems and ideologies, etc. It doesn't seem to be going very well, that, does it? And there I go, you see, being political about politics. We tried it with the Bubble Off Centre podcast, but me and T-Duck realised that we love music too much to be banging on about politics and conspiracy theories and making people wrong, etc., etc. That was the first attempt to move the political discussion elsewhere, which I think it should be. Okay, for those of you who think I've silenced you or you've silenced me or anything like that, let's have it, but let's have it elsewhere. So I'm thinking of starting a phone-in and podcast. People who can't join it live and cause trouble and get upset, angry, and be right about things and make other people wrong. If you can't join that live, you can listen to the podcast, which I'm thinking of calling My Question to You Is. My Question to You Is, or My Question to You Is this podcast. Okay, so actually I had a sign as well this morning. Oh, I haven't downloaded these, but I have had signs this morning. There's a mouse on the stairs here in our house, power animal, and a heron in the sky, which was all the validation I needed for my new idea. So I will do that. I'm not avoiding anything. It's about context. This, to me, it's very precious. The values of the Good Morning Portugal show, as you have enjoyed them, I think, as I've enjoyed them, as we protect and as people gravitate towards, because I think it's a rare thing in the world of being legal and respectful. They're the only two ground rules I ask of people who are involved in the Good Morning Portugal show, is that you be respectful in your communication, whilst being honest and authentic and transparent. Okay, I don't want to censor or bar anybody because of what they've got to say, but it does need to be legal. And you know, these are grey areas as well. I know we're going to fall foul of this. It's work in progress, but it must be legal. And I ask for it to be respectful in your communication, okay? And from there, the most amazing things I think can happen. But if we lose either of those, we're a bit screwed, basically. If you don't, pardon my language. So that's what we're going to do. That's what's going to happen. What is the name of the political podcast? My question to you is this, because that's going to be an important part of it. We're going to be asking questions. Part of the process, I hope, will be to enlighten us. And you know what normally goes on in politics. You know, we're all ideologically possessed, aren't we, to some degree or other, which stops us seeing other people's points of view, which helps us vent our childhood, unhealed child issues, etc., etc. We get very worked up. We get red in the face. We make other people wrong. We like to be right, etc., etc. All that stuff, all that juicy stuff. We'll go there. We will go there. But I hope we also transcend that. And we, in the midst of all of that, we come closer together through understanding. Okay, so it's not a battle of actually getting rid or doing down or destroying your opposition. Because if you're about destroying your opposition, you're no better, are you, than the people who you presumably criticize at the same time. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. People killing people, but I want to kill you with my ideology. Come on, we're better than that. So let's do that. We'll take that elsewhere, and I will defer getting into too deep into politics here. Notable exceptions include Marxist flavored doc on the Wednesday, but we'll do our best to balance that up and put that into a particular context. There will be those notable exceptions, perhaps the exceptions that prove the rule, that it's a good idea to take this to a phone-in podcast where we can talk about this. What's this, James? Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Of course we do. We're human beings. It's absolutely true, isn't it? But let's have a bit of fun with that. Let's push the boundaries a bit, but not here, folks. I've crossed swords with somebody on YouTube who had a bash at me about my response. I think it was on Monday, wasn't it, or Tuesday? Of course, with the very significant event that happened. And we'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. But not here, folks, not here. I maintain the ground rules here, which I think Sam, at least, Hola, bon dia, great ground rules if you're talking about the legality and respect. Brilliant idea for events on the webpage. Thank you very much, Gary. It's great, isn't it? But don't just be a consumer of those events on the webpage. Please add yours as well. You can add I think you probably have to sign up. It's fair enough, isn't it, to be a part of our community? And you can do that. You can be a free member at community level. But it helps us to have people not post up spam and stuff if you've at least registered, as a little bit of a safeguard. So, yeah, agree with you, Gary. It is a great idea. Please add your events to the events page on expatsportugal.com. I was singing. I could hear you, Gary. I could hear you. Thank you very much for that earlier on. So let's scroll back and see what's happening. Mark is here. Oh, we did say hello to you, Mark. You can have 2 today. Michelle, happy Friday to you. Carlos, thank you very much. Michelle, good on you. I've got to show you my photographs from this morning, actually. My signs that I took photos of this morning for you. The confirmation. And that might be one of our first subjects that we talk about, right? Why do people believe silly nonsense like power animals and totems and that sort of thing? Conspiracy theories, we need to go there, don't we? Because it's so amazing how many conspiracy theories appear to be gathering ground and are more theory than conspiracy. Or no, less theory and more actuality. So we will do that, but not here. We will do that on the. So my question to you is this, and that's how I'd like people to respond and participate, is to ask questions as well. I think asking questions is a really good, healthy sign, is it not? Both in the Socratic way, you might put something in somebody else's mind as a question, as a tool and technique for broadening the discussion, for helping yourself to be understood. If you've only got answers, we know what it's like, don't we? Do we not? To be that person or be in the company of that person who's only got answers and no questions. It's not much fun for very long. When I get the feeling that I'm in the company of somebody who's only got answers, and I'm guilty of this myself, of course, present company included, it's pretty boring, isn't it? Being with somebody who's only got answers, whether it be religious, political, whatever ideology we're talking about. If you've only got answers, it ain't going to be very interesting. But let's see what happens, shall we, with that? Had a great meal in a Madeiran restaurant in London last night. What a world we live in where that's possible. Surprised them by saying "boa noite" as I walked in. Lovely people. Now, did you get Portuguese panic with the second bit? Did they blast you with some more Portuguese as a result, Ian? And what happened then? We're talking about Portuguese panic this morning. If I can talk at all, where's my voice going? Frank, where are you? We need Frank soon to compliment me on the screen. And to compliment my choice of clothing this morning. Let's see what he says about that, shall we? Michelle, gorgeous and warmy. I was outside late afternoon. It was 85 Fahrenheit on my veranda. Who doesn't like 85 on their veranda? My kind of weather, fantastic. Yeah, we heard you, Rebel Mama, needing a winter getaway to warmer climes. All going very well here to Michelle. From Michelle to James. What is the equivalent of "g'day" in Californian? That's a really good question. What is "good day" in Californian? Is it just a quiet, wry smile? The silent dude sort of thing? Okay, let me show you my pictures this morning. Not something you see every day in Portugal. A mouse on the stairs. Yes, possibly a dad joke warning, but this morning my youngest said there's a mouse on the stairs, and I went to see it, and I screamed so that I could get Mrs. M to take a look and the other kids to come and have a look. Yes, there's a mouse on the stairs. Oh, there it is. There was a mouse on the stairs. For some reason, I brought the mouse downstairs to the kitchen last night. There was a mouse on the stairs in Casa Munson this morning. And my sign that I think it's right to do the political podcast as I was pondering this, out walking with the dogs, was a heron flying past. Very auspicious bird for me, I have to tell you, the heron. And there it is. Where, Carl? Those are just chemtrails. They're killing us, I tell you. No, they, I don't know what kind of clouds they are, but that little dot you can see there is a heron. I didn't get my camera out fast enough. Honestly, look, it's a heron. Really, it's a heron. But that could be on the what's that American newspaper? The Inquirer, is it? UFO could be any number of things. It could be Loch Ness Monster if you see that as a lake rather than a sky. But believe me, if you will, you don't have to believe anything I say. But on this occasion, I promise you, to my best of my knowledge, that's a heron. And let's see if anyone tries to disagree with me. Save it for the podcast. Okay. So my question to you is this podcast. All right. Looking forward to that already. So what is the equivalent of "good day" in California? What's this? Prof Andrew, Pete, have you all abandoned me? Sounding very biblical now, Rebel Mama. No, that's probably just a conspiracy of circumstance. I'm sure they haven't. Gary, I was singing. Yes, indeed. We heard you. Fantastic. Not the same words, though. Brilliant. Cole, you really do enjoy the national anthem. So good. I do enjoy the national anthem. What's not to enjoy about the national anthem? Is it too xenophobic? Hola, doing yoga again and really concentrating on my plank. Who doesn't like to concentrate on their plank first thing in the morning? To the ground. Oh, sorry, I ended that too soon. My plank to the ground movement, lucky you, aka the Chaturanga Choo-Choo, is it? Chaturanga Choo-Choo, not just dropping. Okay, so slow plank to the ground, no dropping. My shoulders and pecs are sore. Yay. That's okay. You're enjoying that. Not sure, but I can't tag a few people. They might actually have left instead of blocking. Yeah, okay. Don't fear the worst. And also, here's the thing: if you want to turn the other cheek this morning, if you want to be a big person, unblock. I mean, it's probably gone on long enough. Unblock somebody this morning, okay? Give them another chance, for heaven's sakes. Come on, what you like? A group of Californians meet each other. Hey, 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 hey. It's like hay fever over there. So that's what happens, Michelle. There you go. That's that mystery solved. Brilliant. And Matty's in as well. Hola, bon dia, alegria, todos de Pombal this morning. Fantastic. How's it going, Matty? Pam's in as well. Hola, bon dia. Now, you sent me something, didn't you, Pam? We have a Facebook event, haven't we? The Région de l'Aria. Georges Barbosa is in town. He's playing on an airport runway, by the look of it. So let's see if I can bring you more details of that. But thank you very much for that, Pam. Fancy popping it on the expat. Has anyone done that while we're talking? Now's the time. Darth Vader scales. Okay, what would the Darth Vader scales say? There is much force in this one. There is much force in this one. Burr, burr, burr. As you get on the scales, they should play the tune as well, shouldn't they? Yeah, there they are. Darth Vader's face scales. There is much force in this one. Haven't quite got that voice right, have I? But you get the gist. This is going to run and run. That needs to be a meme, doesn't it? Remember where you saw them first when we talked about standing on Darth Vader's face in the morning. Good luck to Liverpool in the Champions League final. They've been busy, haven't they, recently? And thanks, Carl. But I think we've got this. Not too much stuff accumulated yet. Yeah, yet is the operative word, isn't it? Give it a few years and you'll have loads of stuff again. That's human beings for you, isn't it? And not far to go. Okay, well, good luck with all of that. My Ike is number 12. It's okay. So famous Ikes, Ike and Tina Turner, David Ike. Let's see if we can get it above 36 Ikes during the show. Hit the Ike button, everybody. I think some people do want to hit David Icke, don't they? Did you say lovely day? I love me some Bill Withers. Yes, what happens? Okay, we've got to go there. I know you all know this joke, but it would be rude not to do it, wouldn't it?
Warning.
Oh no! Hold on, I nearly pressed it again there, and this joke does warrant that, if you can call it a joke. What happens if you put a platypus in the microwave? No, I've messed that up. His Bill Withers, but that's not the right way of telling that joke, and I do not recommend that to anybody. Please don't be putting a platypus in the microwave. That would be terrible. Mia's ready to join us. It's fantastic to see Mia to talk about Portuguese panic in just a moment. We'll need to explain that, I think, to Mia. But no sign of Frank. Is he hungover and still in bed? I wonder if anyone has got Frank on WhatsApp. Drop him a line asking him where he is, if you don't mind. Nunu, yoga doesn't combine with me. The exception is an image of yoga posted on the Man Cave group. Don't look at that, anybody. Well said, Carl. Classy. I've seen some of your audience making others wrong, talking publicly about others, the others, bringing about separation. Your show is about Portugal, not politics. You're not othering others, are you there, Mrs. M? I wonder. It's so difficult, that, isn't it? Bon dia a todos, but thank you, Mrs. M. And Verdad at Louisa Tanner Munson there. Okay. I also think she says it's okay to kick people off your show if they persist in passive name calling. You're creating a community and they are watching your show whilst taking an axe to it. All right. Easy. I think Mrs. M will be tuning into the new podcast. And you have to click on the posters to expand. Who doesn't like to click on their poster to expand it first thing in the morning and see all the information relating to the event, etc.? I didn't explain that, but Andy is the boss in there with the events posters. I don't like people who only got answers or think they are always correct, unless it's ourselves, all right, Moaz. I'll bring you a coffee for your throat. Well, that's better than a pair of hands for my throat, isn't it? A little mouse with clogs on, right there on the stair. Fantastic. Let's go to Porto. Mia, good morning to you, Mia. How are you? Sorry, that was rather a hasty dragging of you on the screen. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you? Good
Well, I'm very
morning.
well. Oh, look at you. I've got my unicorn. I've got my new age of unicorn cup that changes color from Lidl. But I'm sorry not to match your Good Morning Portugal mug. Look,
It's okay. I'll do the publicity for you. Like,
thank you very much. Just keep sipping out of that cup during the show, if you will. That's fantastic product placement. Right, Mia, first question is, how's your dog?
she's at the hospital at the
Okay.
moment. She was admitted yesterday, and because for those who don't know, my dog has been sick the last 3 days or so. She's been nauseous and vomiting, and she has some pain in her belly. So we don't really know what Nala has, but
Okay.
we're hoping that it's nothing too serious. But she was not eating so much yesterday, so they said it's better if she stayed there and
Okay.
had some fluids, So
Well,
I don't know how you call that, IV fluids or
intravenous rehydration, I guess, and maybe some antibiotics or something like that. So lots of love to your family.
Thank you. It's weird not to have her around, so
Isn't it just? It really is, yeah. There's a kind of hole, your dog-shaped hole in the house when they're not around. So, all the best for a speedy recovery there.
Thank you.
With your dog there. Fingers crossed. I mean, boa sorte is good luck, of course. Maybe if we stay on this theme of well-wishing in Portuguese. Fingers crossed, what might that be, and other such good wishes that you might want to extend to people in Portuguese?
So you said boa sorte. That's the most common one. But sometimes the Portuguese say, don't say boa sorte. It's not good luck. Somehow we have this thing. Or don't thank if someone says boa sorte to you.
Really?
So another way of saying is actually, one of the words is not very nice, but it's like muita merda, Can I say it in Portuguese?
Yes, it's in context, so say it. Go on, what?
Muita merda. That's like lots of
yes, number two.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
I don't know, because there is somehow a thing that when you step on poop on the in the street, here in Portugal, there's a lot of poop everywhere, unfortunately, in some places.
We've noticed.
So, like if you step on poop, people say, "Oh, you should play the lottery." I don't know. Somehow, I think the Portuguese always like to make bad situations nicer. So, stepping on poop is not very nice. So what can we do? Let's see. Okay, if you step on poop, then that's good luck. Then go and play in the lottery or something like this. I don't know. I'm just saying, but
this really helps culturally.
I don't know how it came to be, but it's like this. Another one, sorry?
It's quite amazing, and it explains something. So for the dog owners who don't clear up after them, their dogs, it's like, well, I'm just giving people good luck. I mean, what's wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could have just left a spider as well, because we also say that's good luck.
Right, and if you tread on a spider having a poo, is that really good luck?
Yes, or if you have a spider on you who is pooping on you.
Yep.
Mrs. Spider is pooping on you, then you probably, I don't know.
Hence the old Portuguese nursery rhyme about the old Mrs. Spider pooing on your shoulder. Yes, of course. Now it all makes sense. Okay, this is why we have to have these conversations, everybody. I interrupted you. You were going from dog poo to spiders to something else, and I interrupted.
Yeah, so another thing we say, which I also think you say it in English, is parte uma perna. Parte uma perna. That's like break a leg.
Break a leg, okay.
So you also could think why, right? Like why? Do you know how? Do you know why? I have no idea why we would say to someone we wish good luck to break a leg. So
that's
do you have an idea?
But this is a very rich seam of conversation, because you're not meant to say good luck, I think, in the theatre. And you say break a leg instead.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating that the Portuguese people culturally don't like to be wished good luck necessarily, and they say lots of poop instead. I don't know why. Do you know why? Do you know the answer to that?
I actually don't know the answer to that. No, it's an interesting thing, but I don't know. And
Well,
I'm not even saying like, I think more than not liking that people say good luck, that's because I think that's okay. I think it's even more like if someone says good luck to you, don't thank them. That's not good luck if you thank them. Somehow. I don't know why. I don't
but
know why.
you're not meant to say happy birthday in advance either, are you? That's also bad luck.
No. So I'm starting to think that there is a lot of superstition going on in Portugal. But
You might be right. I think you might be right.
I think everywhere in general, these like things that you just get used to, you don't even know why, but they just come to be like that, and you don't even question why it is like that. But
Indeed. But
yeah,
we are this morning. So partir a perna, was break a leg, in case you want to say.
parte uma perna. I can write it to you
Partir
on
uma
the
perna, boa sorte. These are useful things. We will go into Portuguese panic in just a moment. Frank is struggling with the link, would you believe it?
Sorry,
But
don't write that I wrote you, because I just completely messed that up. I don't know. I'm
goodness only knows what that means. What does that mean? Is that another word in Portuguese?
No, it doesn't. Perto doesn't mean anything. I just
That's
messed
right.
it up.
We're not going to
I
call.
mixed perna with parte, and somehow it came to be perto. No
Okay,
one
all
is
right.
seeing these comments, so no one is understanding what I'm saying. But I was writing to Carl and I messed it up. But
Yes,
now it's correct.
I'm going to put the correct one onto the screen now so people can impress others with their new phrase of the day, which is parto uma perna, break a leg, basically. And I hope somebody will solve for us the mystery of why people are in the theatre. You don't say
And
Macbeth either.
if you want the lots of poop, because it's part of the culture and people do say it, I also wrote it for you there.
Muita merda. Okay. And it's feminine, of course. There's a little bit of a language lesson as well. It's not muito, it's muita.
Yeah, that's the thing that people get confused about. Why sometimes things change, like muntu changes to muita, and why not? Do you know why?
Well, because it's feminine, masculine, right?
Yeah, but for example, I can say muito. Por exemplo, ela é muito feliz. Ela é muito feliz.
Uh-huh.
Or let's say, ela é muito bonita.
Okay.
Bonita. So if you can post that sentence in the
yes,
thing.
I can. I will do that. So hold on a minute. Yeah, we can see. I see what you're getting at now. So if I try and not explain, but grapple with this, we have ela é muito bonita. So bonita, you're thinking, okay, well that should be muita bonita because bonita sounds feminine, right? But no.
Exactly. It's feminine. So all this sentence, let's say, is regarding to someone who is a feminine character, right? Ela é muito bonita. So people are like very confused sometimes because why is muito and not muita? Because in other sentences like muita merda, for example, or let's say let's say ela tem muita sede. You can post that one.
Okay, let me find that as well. I'm also putting a link up to the link to you and being a Portuguese teacher, of course. If people want to sign up for your Kickstarter course, they can do that on the link that I've just put in the chat. But let's carry on with the lesson here. Ela tem muita sede. That's going in as well now. The mouse that I caught on my stairs this morning has got a bit of a sticky button this morning, not helping me. Ela tem muita sede. There you go. It's on the screen.
Okay, so in this case, you have a feminine thing, a feminine muita, right? Yeah. So people, do you know what this means? Ela tem muita sede?
No. No, but she has a lot of something. Say that I can't place it.
Thirst, actually, because we don't say she's thirsty. We say she has a lot of thirst, basically.
To have the thirst. Yes, okay. That's much better.
Yeah, so sede is thirst, and it's a feminine noun. Okay, so it's a sede, the thirst. Okay, so therefore we have muita. But
Yes.
then people get confused and say, why is it here, ela tem muita sede, but in the other sentence we saw is ela é muito bonita. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. But I could try a bit harder, shouldn't I? Look, Frank's here now. Let's ask him the question. Let's put him straight in the deep end. We're putting him on the diving board, and we're pushing him into the deep end right now. Could you ask Frank that question? Good morning, Frank.
Olá, Frank. Bom dia. Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Okay, come on, let's get straight into this, Frank.
Nice hat. Nice hat.
Thank you, thank you. Mia, is this clown bothering you this morning? What's going on here?
We've got a question.
Yes.
We've got a question. Yes,
All
of
right,
course.
what's the question?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Carl. You ask. Go ahead.
Why is it here? Ela é muito bonita. There, which is not a Madonna song, incidentally, Simon, who was asking that. And then, in this case, ela tem muita sede.
So we are focusing on the muito and muita, right? So.
Yes. Why is it masculine in one case and then feminine in another?
There are a lot of mysteries in Portuguese that you might not be able to solve in a 1-hour program. But I think...
Nicely done.
But that's true.
Yes, there are quite a few things. Sometimes you go, why do they do it this way around? And why do they eat half the word? But this one is quite simple.
If you have a good teacher, then you can, shorten the span of that. It doesn't have to be an hour, maybe half an hour.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
I think you can figure out, Mia, that neither of us have a clue. we need you to explain it to us, please.
Weren't you going to say something, Frank, about it?
Well, what I was going to say is muyta is obviously the feminine. Muito is the masculine. Are we like focusing on something else in that?
Yeah, because in the first sentence you also have feminine, right? Bonita. Ela é muito bonita.
Yeah, but that's wrong. Muito bonito, no?
That's wrong. It's not wrong, though. That's the thing. It's wrong.
Not wrong. It's correct. So maybe in the chat, some people can think if they know, can let us know if they know. I don't know. We're doing a little quiz here because this is really interesting.
You're such a good teacher. You're not just going to give the answer. You're going to make people think about it. Yes. So there you go.
We can give them 2 or 3 or 5 minutes to think if you want to introduce Frank and then we come back to it. Is it a good idea?
Everyone knows Frank, but you're right. You're right. We should do that. We should be a bit more polite on Frank. Frank likes.
But to me, I want if I could have a translation to something, I really want to. Eli. How do you say turtleneck in Portuguese?
Turtleneck, like
turtleneck. You know the turtleneck.
Is it a shirt, like a sweater?
Yeah.
Gola alta?
Yeah, it is.
Gola alta?
Mm-hmm. Gola is this thing here. So, and then when it's alta, is like tall, basically.
Carl é muito bonito com a gola alta. Ele é muito chique.
Ele é muito chique com a gola alta?
Sim.
Muito obrigado, amigos. Thank you very much.
Are you saying this to Carl? Yeah, by the way, Carl, where are you?
What do you mean, where am I?
Aren't you warm?
Yeah, but I wore this. I really am hot wearing this woolen polo.
Hot you are, my friend. Let's move on from that conversation.
But are you sick? Because you were saying you're not doing very well, or
no, I'm doing fine. I wore this especially because Frank gave me such a hard time the last time I wore it, and I thought I would turn up as the milk tray man, James Bond, German U-boat captain again. But he accused me of working. I look like someone who works in the principal's office, whatever that means. So that's why.
Today you especially look like you are in that submarine boat UB40, and you're like, if you just had the hat on, you could easily be running the captain.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
very chic.
Uhum. Eu gosto também.
Thank you very much.
Eu também gosto de gola alta.
It is too hot, though. Quite honestly, I was thinking of not wearing trousers to compensate. But if I had to get up in a hurry, that would be quite terrible here. Okay.
Please don't.
It's
Por favor,
amongst friends,
não.
Carl.
Por
It's
favor,
amongst
não.
friends, Carl. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so before
No,
you
do
arrive,
worry.
yeah, do worry about it. We were talking about good luck, saying good luck. Have you ever said this to anybody, Frank? That I'm going to put on the screen now. As agreed. Don't spit your coffee. That is good luck. Now, this sounds like one of those jokes. Yes. This is the sort of thing that Frank would say to you in a bar. Frank, everybody, it's Algarve this, Algarve that this week. And now here we are again. Frank live from the Algarve, the Blargarve. So sunny, so great, etc., etc. Just in case.
All this love, Mia, don't you love it?
Okay, so, I can imagine you in a bar pranking a new American friend in a bar and saying that when you meet Portuguese people, the best thing to say to them is "muita merda." As a
I have a better one. I actually, you're right. I do pranks, but my prank is a little bit better. But people will have to excuse me with my prank. So what I usually do is first thing you do when you come to Portugal, you want to introduce yourself to everyone. So you look them in the eye. You have to make sure you look them in the eye, shake their hand, and you look at them and you say "Hola, filho da puta," and then you move on from there. And the person will look at you and they will have this look of like, oh my God, this is the dearest friend I'm meeting after a long time. And I think after that, all you do is you just sit in the corner, sip on your wine, and see when the first time this is going to happen. It's amazing. It's a beautiful interaction. Don't you agree, Mia? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that the way for you to introduce yourself?
Definitely not. But but it's funny. It is funny. But please don't do that. I can't, as a teacher.
I would never. I would never.
As a teacher, tell people to either say "muita merda" when you meet someone. Don't do that, and also don't do it in more formal contexts. We don't do that. I wanted to say this, but as a joke for a friend, that might be funny.
Okay, not for grandma. Not for grandma. This one, but you can say this among pals, Frank. This is new for you possibly, but this is acceptable between friends about saying good luck in a strange Portuguese paradox there. Right. If I may move on to this Portupanic thing, Mia, while we have you here, and I don't know if it's a situation you find yourself in, Frank, but I've been out and about with you in Coimbra when you used to live in Coimbra. But oh no, I've gone there.
Not
but anyway,
with Frank, right?
Oh dear, change of atmosphere. We won't go into this now, Mia. But
sorry, this is if you hear this, this is my coffee machine. I don't know what it's doing.
Excellent. That's a nice change of
like, bye. I'm out of here.
Oh, okay. You've got a coffee machine that walks itself or goes and collects. This is the future, isn't it? Tesla outside and a coffee machine that can go to the shop and replace its own coffee.
This is why you should have Mia as your teacher. She even has a coffee machine that's automated and tells you, "Hey, listen, does it like do you talk to the coffee machine? Is it one of those where like
internet things?"
Well, I do talk to it, but it doesn't do anything I say.
Começa Mia café.
Keep the noise down.
Iniciar café.
Iniciar Mia café.
No, it's not so sophisticated. It just really like turns itself off when no one is looking because we haven't been paying attention to it. So
well, we can all be like that sometimes, can't we?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Okay, Portupanic then, if I may draw your attention to this. Going back to
this? I don't understand what you were saying. Sorry.
Portupanic. Okay, I'll explain it to you now. Frank and I have been out. Frank's Portuguese is actually very good. And what he doesn't have in vocabulary, he makes up for in charm. And people don't quite know what's going on when this is happening. And it's a great thing to watch, actually. I recommend it. If you can hang out with Frank in the Algarve, which you can. He is available. I think it's €100 at the moment to have lunch with Frank.
Why are you giving discounts on my behalf? What's wrong with you?
Anyway, sorry, the prices have gone up recently.
This is Mia. Never hire Carl Munson as your agent. Worst agent ever. Right in front of the client, he gives them discounts.
Oh, sorry. Okay, all right. So anyway, me and Frank are out and about in Coimbra, and Frank's brilliant with his Portuguese. Me, on the other hand, if I'm out and about on my own in these situations, and I might go "Hola, bom dia, boa tarde," and I like to think my accent's fairly good. And, you know, the textbook thing into the cafe, queria café, queria meio de leite, faz favor, se faz favor. And then the person comes back at you with something. If it's a meio de leite, there's another bit, isn't there? Do you want it extra strong, double shot? And the Portuguese person will come back at you. And that's where the Portuguese panic is. You were going so well. And then you just have to stand there and go, yes, that's right. What? And then you go into. I mean, there are a number of responses. One is to walk away with your head bowed in shame and pretend it never happened.
The walk of shame.
Walk of shame. The other one is to just say yes. It's like
Sim. Pois.
Certo.
You know,
and then you can get. You don't know what you're going to get. Go on, Mia. Sorry, what were you going to say to that?
No, I was going to say, actually, Dominic and I were discussing some time ago that you can do basically most of Portuguese conversations just with the word pois.
Yes.
Pois.
Yes, that's right. Pois.
So, like, if someone is like, então, quer café? Pois. E quer quente? Pois. You know, like, anything you say, it's like, pois.
This is what we're talking about. So there's the first tip. When you get into your Portuguese panic, you're either going to say, your best option possibly, and we would like more, Mia, if that's possible, and from you, Frank, because I know you've been in this situation yourself, is what to do there, and it could be desculpa. And for me, if I can compose myself in that moment, it would be something like falar pouco português, desculpa. And then there's okay, English, and then it might change. And so no, in Portuguese, first of all, and then we'll have a little learning experience. But what to do with Portuguese panic? Pois is fantastic. I know Andy who's here this morning. He's been here for 20 years, I think, and he's got three. He had 3 words of Portuguese, which was pois. And then if he was really showing off, pois. And then if he got into the hot water, he would just back out with a "Está complicado," and then walk away from the situation. But I think he's got a few more, and maybe we can help him this morning. So what are we doing? Let's go ask Frank first. What are you doing when you've got a case of Portuguese panic, Frank?
I don't know. I just don't feel any kind of panic. I usually tell people that whatever the context is, I usually tell them that I'm practicing. So eu quero praticar meu português com você. And then the person immediately opens up and the person says, okay, so this person wants to practice their broken Portuguese with me, and they're opening up. And a lot of the times, I've actually heard pois quite a bit as well. A lot of the times what people will do is not only will they slow down, they will give you the one sentence without the connector, so that whatever your Portuguese is, you will be able to follow along, and then they will connect. I've had this happen a few times where like the person is like, and especially if the person is on the same level of intoxication as you are, it becomes an even more smoother conversation, because you can be like, and then by the end of the night, I find this is one of the reasons why I love Portugal, is that people are so, like, you will have 3 or 4 people along, you'll be part of a conversation. You will never feel you are outside of the conversation. You can join in, because I think that our biggest problem as foreigners is the sentence will be formed. It's just how you connect to the next sentence, how you move on with the conversation. If you're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, or if you're talking about food, how do you move on from the first sentence to the next sentence? So now we're talking about his football skills. Now we're talking about how much money he makes. Now we're talking about the hotel that he's got over there, right? So moving along with the conversation is the connectors.
Yes, Thank you, Frank. What is it you just said though? Because you put me in your own little bit of Portuguese panic there. What did you just bust out?
Eu praticar minha português com você, and then you kind of like look at the person, and the person just goes, "Oh, okay, so you're like practicing your Portuguese. This is so beautiful. You're not going to switch in English with me right now. You're going to keep, because the one thing is that you don't give up. Whatever your ugly Portuguese speaking skills are, just put it out on display. Just give it."
Great advice this morning. Thank you, Frank, for that. Look at this. Bad English. Can't have frank and panic in the same sentence. Now you mention it, Wayne, you're absolutely right. Frank and panic do not go in the same sentence. It's just it goes against nature there. So Mia, that's pretty good, isn't it? A great start from Frank there. I'm practicing.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's exactly what I would say. Like, just be honest with the person in front of you, because I think I always say this, but the problems with adults and languages is that we are always so worried. Oh my God, I'm making a mistake. I am an idiot. Why can't I? And then we start with the whys, like, why can't I speak yet? I've been here for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. And then we get stuck on that thought. So what is holding us back a lot is our mindset. I'm always speaking about this because I do think that's the first thing that holds you back, like on everything, but learning languages is definitely one of those things. So if you don't get rid of that mindset, it's going to be hard to, to advance in your language learning path. So I would say try to change that first and think like you are trying, right? So people are going to be happy in general in Portugal if you try to speak to them in Portuguese. Yes, they will try to switch to English because they think they are helping you. But if you say what Frank says, like, quero praticar o meu português consigo ou com você, por favor, and you smile and you look at the person, I think in general, Portuguese people will be happy to help you. So I think that's another thing. It's like just do what Frank says, because that's awesome. And before that, just go to this conversation thinking, okay, probably I won't understand everything at first, but that's okay. I'm trying. I know one more language than the other person does, or like you can think like this, right? So it's good. It's good to just go and don't have any expectations, because that's what children do, and they are awesome at learning languages. And they go, and you don't understand it, they repeat it. If you don't understand, they find other ways to explain to you, and they don't care. They don't care if they are making you lose time or whatever. They don't care. They just want to pass the message, and they will find a way to do that. And adults should do that too.
I think as adults, the other issue that we've got is a lot of you become very self-conscious. So if I always feel that they're not laughing at me, they're laughing with me. So the other person who you are like talking to, whatever your Portuguese is, I think that the people around you, they are technically laughing with you, because they're just saying, oh, you know what? Listen to what this person, and then you have room to be able to, your personality will flourish around the bad Portuguese. And the person will kind of get a hint of your personality, because that's the connection right there, right? It's you being able to express yourself in a way, it's not your language, they know it, but they can see through, they can say, this person's trying. And look, underneath, it's a very interesting person. I got to know this person.
It is like that. I always try to say this, because I think in general, again, Portuguese people are really, really glad that someone is trying to speak Portuguese from Portugal. It's like, wow, this is actually happening. This is so interesting. And sometimes we do laugh, but I don't know. I think maybe I'm biased, but I think most of the Portuguese are very pure-hearted in a way. I think this is a very bold statement, but you know what I mean. It's like they don't mean they mean well. Like,
Yes.
yes, we do laugh, because I think anyone will laugh if I say something silly, because my English is like broken English. You probably will laugh, right? And it doesn't mean you're laughing at me. It means that you're just finding the situation interesting in a way you never even thought about this kind of mistake or whatever, and it's interesting, and then you laugh. But I do think generally Portuguese people are not laughing at you. They are laughing with you. And I know that some people have a hard time understanding that, because, again, they have this mindset, oh, I'm making a fool of myself, whatever. But it's really not this. It's really like, we do appreciate that you're trying, and we are laughing with you. So I totally agree. I totally agree.
There are some.
There's also the room to exchange your, because sometimes people want to practice their English with you, and you tell them that, okay, let's do this. First part, I do a little bit of Portuguese, and then you do your little English. And it's so interesting. I was talking to someone, and the guy, it's so funny. His English was very, because a lot of the Portuguese accent and the way Portuguese folks speak is very Hollywood, because that's the biggest experience that they've had. So this guy, during a conversation, he goes, we were watching a football match together on television. He goes, "Hey Frank, he didn't like the football player. He is a bitch baby." And I was like, "What is a bitch baby?" And then I found it so funny after that, like with my friends, talking to my friends back home. I go, "Hey man, you're sounding like a bitch baby today." They'd be like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, I heard this very interesting terminology from this guy. I found it was very interesting. It got to the point, it told me exactly what he feels about that player, or he does not like the player, because you could see it in his face. But the term that he used, I've never heard it, and I learned something new about
Bitch baby. Okay.
We're getting lots of lovely comments in that would support what you're both saying, which is fantastic. Rebel Mama, sim, claro. Now, when I speak Portuguese to the English-speaking lady at the merceria, she doesn't even notice. Lol. Another friend gives me new words every time I see him. See, people want to help you. They really do. And so far, says James, in my experience, virtually every Portuguese I've attempted to speak Portuguese to has smiled and lightened up and embraced my effort. The chuckles are simply saying, "Oh, how cute. He's really trying."
Yes, it is this.
Yeah, you can be really trying, though, James, let's face it. Only kidding. We'll see you on Monday with thoughts from the Redwoods. Abel is saying, to prevent Portuguese panic, just have a bottle of wine first. Now, I think you'll second that, Frank. It's quite helpful, isn't it? When
I'll second and third that.
Yeah, we do.
A little bit of liquid courage. Carl, you must know this. Like, you're the expert at this. A little bit of liquid courage goes a long way, right?
Oh, yeah. My Portuguese is much better when I drink wine. My Portuguese is brilliant when I drink fizz, but only for a little while.
I've heard both.
You have. You absolutely have. Here, look, this is another. Well, there's some questions specifically for you, Mia, and for you, Frank. I think brace yourself for some Man United pushback there, Frank. James, where's that wonderful comment about your housemate? Here we go. Mostly says push, while his wife speaks.
That's so mean. But it probably works. It probably works.
Marriage guidance advice and linguistic skills in Portuguese this morning. So, fellas, push.
There you
go. Well, that's really very helpful.
Now that I think about it, Dominic also says this a lot to me when I'm rambling on. It's like,
sorry, Dominic. You're gonna have to try harder, mate.
Little does Dominic know that tonight, this morning, is when he's gonna get in trouble without even doing anything. All he did is press the coffee machine's button.
That's right. He's just trying to make coffee in the background. Dominic, sorry about that. Don't get lazy with your language practices, James. So easy to default to our comfortable language. I mean, that's life generally, isn't it? The comfort zone. We love the comfort zone, but all the encouragement you've been given this morning, push that boat out a bit and push the Portuguese boat out a little bit and see what you can do. How do you move along to discuss why? Yeah, what happens when Man United come up in conversation in Portuguese, Frank?
Oh, these days, as a Man United fan, you put your hand up, you go, eu não entendo. And you know, like when you kind of want to disown a child, but you can't, and you kind of like you like look
Yeah,
at
every
it, and
day
you know,
I know that feeling.
you know, like sometimes that happens. You like look at the screen and you just go, another goal got scored. I don't know how this is happening. I don't know. Sometimes it's the manager changing. We've changed it.
Oh, okay, we have este complicado. Of course, you can always fall back on that. Frank, are you going to the Portugal Soul Weekend? It's this weekend. Shalimar are in making it a
We're
night.
actually thinking about it. We're thinking about going and checking this out because it's a wonderful weekend. It's about 7 days.
Yeah, and
Of,
even Champagne King is in town as well. That's superb. That's really great. What's this? Frank, that friend will get an immediate Portuguese contact in his face, probably. That was, I think, based on your that was based on your little prank, the Frank prank earlier on. Okay, what's this? I've got to watch out for Pete's comments before I stick them on the screen or even consider reading them out. Oh, we missed these earlier on. Oh, thank you very much. Excellent service. Coffee.
Hey,
Is it your coffee machine as well?
You can't call
Does
Mrs.
it
Emma.
bring you coffee?
My push. Muito obrigado. Yes, Mrs. M's brought me a coffee. Push.
I thought it was your coffee machine that brought you coffee.
You can't call her that. That would go down really bad.
No, I'm not calling her that. I'm just saying I can't see her, right?
Mia, you're getting him in trouble. This is not good. This is payback for Dominic.
Okay, Frank's hat size. Discuss the prof is keen to discuss a few things this morning. I think he wants to know what vertical blinds are in Portuguese. Mia, have you was it a late night?
Sorry.
We saw you with that little yawn there.
Yeah, I was yawning. Sorry, I don't know. I had a late night. Yes.
We're keeping Mia up here. Okay, but back to the Bosorts. Islamic tradition you apply. Mashallah. After a compliment, it's from God. That's a really good way of dealing with compliments, isn't it? Sorry, Frank. Let me just put you up here and hide myself, not you. Maybe Portugal got it from the Moors. Also, dancers say merd before going on stage, like break a leg. Well, this is interesting. There's some dots to be joined here, aren't there? But we still haven't found out why actors do say break a leg instead of good luck. My wife is thinking of leaving me because of my... Oh, okay, sorry, dad joke warning. We need this before we read this.
Warning.
Oh, no! My wife is thinking of leaving me because of my obsession with poker, but I think she's bluffing. Oh, Frank is shaking his head there. But you know you'll be saying that tonight, Frank, at the bar among friends.
And I'll add merda to the end of this one.
Okay, my 4-year-old son has been learning Portuguese all year, and he still can't say the word please, which I think is poor for 4. That's good. That is good. That is too good to be a dad joke there. Fantastic. Okay,
that's like a Portuguese English joke. That's amazing.
It's good, isn't it? It is good. Maybe if you could send that to me, Prof, I'll forward that on to Mia, who will be putting it in her language lessons. I can't believe it's called 10, guys. 9:45. We've only got 15 minutes more together. Get the questions in. The Portuguese panic solutions and strategies. What's this? My morning is always good. Come on, Mouse, help me out here. As long as I start with the Good Morning Portugal show. Thank you for asking, says Moaz. That's lovely. Question for Mia then. Why am I a portista and not a portisto? Ah, good one. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, some words basically just have one gender, let's say. They don't change according to gender. And it's a lot of words that end in ista. So, for example, artista is also for female and male. Baterista, which is a drama, for example, is also for female and male. So portista is the same. It's the same. It's just like that. There is not a reason. It's just that words that end in ista normally don't change according to masculine and feminine.
Okay, and
So if you want to say this artist is very talented, ele é artista muito talentoso,
Talentoso.
talentoso.
Ele é um artista muito talentoso.
Talentoso. Ah, okay.
So it's artista. You won't say artisto. That doesn't exist. As well as portisto doesn't exist.
Sounds like you might have been saying that wrong all this time, Frank. But people again,
but it doesn't matter. The message gets across, and until you see Mia the next morning on the show, and she says, "Idiots, you've not been saying it correctly."
I never said idiots. I don't think it.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think
she
it.
never says that.
But you're thinking it.
No.
That's the good part.
No, I don't. I really don't.
I can see that. You're
Actually,
idiota.
idiota is another word that doesn't change according to feminine or masculine.
There you go. Turned it into a
That
teacher.
one I knew.
That one he knew. Okay.
What about the muntu and muyta? People got so silent about this. I think people are shy.
We will climax the show with that. But
Okay.
I want to know what a portista is. Is that somebody whose people are from Porto?
Yeah, no, it's from a portista is someone that supports FC
The
Porto.
football team.
Okay.
Because if you want to say a person from Porto, then it's portuense
Portuense, okay.
or tripeiro, which is the slang.
The Tripeters of Porto, of which you are one, Mia, of course. I get confused on which words are supposed to be gendered. Is there a rule to learn it? Well, we're working on it this morning in some way. Everyone else says there isn't. You just know as you learn. So I'm left like.
So there are some rules. For example, words that end in e. For example, portuense, which is the other word that I wrote in your comment in your private chat.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Portuense is also it ends in e, and this normally doesn't change according to gender. So it's portuense, uma portuense. As I said before, words ending in ista won't also change normally, and there are other rules which, if you join the link that Carl put there for my free course, I actually explain a bit about this, which words are generally masculine, which words are generally feminine, and also I think I also touched this with what's not changing, and so maybe that's a good way to start. Is there in the free link or in the free course? I mean, it's this link there. But yeah, so it would be too much to now speak about all the rules here. But basically, for example, those two that I can think now off the top of my head is like words ending in e and ista are two to start.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you very much for that, Mia. Somebody shouted break a leg to a friend playing football. 5 minutes later, he's on the deck after a tough tackle. Yeah, don't say break a leg on a football pitch. That's pretty terrible, isn't it? Oh, yesterday, I also got my NIS, Portuguese culture, everybody. And that's the national, that's a social security number.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the SNS or the NIF, which are different. But anyway, got his NIS and then went to the local secondary school to finalize my registration for the PLA language course. Well done, Matty. Exemplary expat behavior there. Fantastic. Good morning, people. Mia, is that short for Mariana?
Yes. So basically, my real name is Mariana.
Mariana.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, that's my real name.
Now you'll have stalkers. This is great. You should never have confirmed your name. Now you'll have stalkers.
But you know, a lot of people already know it because I was also in another video with Leo from Lisbon, and he also wanted me to reveal this. So anyway, but it doesn't matter. I my real name is Mariana, but since it was very difficult for certain people to say it, and a lot of my friends call me Mia because it came from Miana, which was like what my parents used to call me, Miana. And then it became Mia in university somehow. And then it was Mia. And then for everyone, it's so much easier. So. And
it translates very well to like other languages, right?
Exactly.
Like, no issues. If a person messes up pronouncing Mia, then they have a bigger problem than Carl Monson.
I think, yeah, sorry, if you can't say my name, you can't join the course. I mean, Mia's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Or you could be like Prince. Eventually, the language teacher known as M. You could go down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Bon dia Gumpers from Cindy B.
Hey.
My mouse is a problem. A sticky button, though, is not a euphemism. I just have to press it really hard.
When you first said this mouse that I found on the stairs, I literally thought it was like an animal you were talking about.
That's how I got the kids this morning when I shouted out, "There's a mouse on the stairs, kids!" That got
you got me almost as well.
Because the little one, the 3-year-old, said, "There's a mouse on the stairs," and we were all like, "What?" And we ran to it, and there actually was that mouse. For some reason, I left my office with my mouse in my hand. But we all believed him when he said it this morning. It was fantastic. Oh, and the heron this morning that I took a photo of, really good photo, that, isn't it? That's going to win.
What is a heron?
National Geographic. Oh, not the Michael heron. The heron bird, not like the stork, but similar to the stork. The auspicious bird often seen in Chinese illustrations.
I don't
know. Why are you laughing at my heron, Frank? Let's see if this happens again. Is it the quality of the photograph that you're admiring?
No, you connecting it to Michael Heron, which is.
There he is, Michael Heron.
How do you write that in English? H-A-R-O-N.
H-E-R-O-N. Heron. Let's
Okay.
find out what that is. If someone can help us out, help me out there with what heron is in Portuguese, that'd be great.
I will Google it. Don't.
Mia, do most Portuguese folks and like regular.
I know what it is.
When you go outside and see people, do you? Because there's one thing I've been noticing on Carl's show where like people when they come in and it's great. It looks great, but the thing is, do people usually say "Bom dia, alegria" when they go to a coffee shop?
No, normally not.
Because that's one way of getting a very like kind of snide kind of look, isn't it? Don't you think?
Come on, Frank. It's our catchphrase. It's like, when Bruce Forsyth went into a cafe, he didn't say, "All right, my love, nice to see you. To see you, nice." It's a catchphrase. It's just me. Yeah. What's your catchphrase when you go into the bar in the Algarve? What's your catchphrase?
Bon dia. You go in and you go in with the presence, and after that you don't need anything else.
I saw you stick your chest out there. Ray Liotta lives on. Okay, I got a book entitled "A Guide to Surgical Procedures." I opened it up. The appendix was missing. Oh my goodness! Apparently, the PLA course free of charge. Move on for the student. Look at that. I believe paid for by the Portuguese government and the EU. There you go. Enjoy that course there, Matty. Bon dia a todos. Hola mia. We're all over the place with the comments here, but I don't want to miss anything. Another dad joke here. What's this? I visited the birthplace of the man who invented the toothbrush. There's no plaque. Okay. All right.
I love these kind. I have to say, I love these kind of jokes. We call them piadas secas.
Dry jokes. Dry humor. Yeah, not dad jokes, not papa jokes, not papa.
No, these are vovô jokes.
No, we don't call it. We call it piadas secas.
Okay, very good.
And I love those. I just love them. They are so bad you have to laugh.
Exactly.
Portuguese humor overall is very dry, right? Like so, like when somebody says something and they'll be like, they'll do a joke and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, and I left him bleeding," and you'll be like, "Wow," and then the person won't laugh. They'll look straight at you, and everybody starts laughing, and you're just like, "Oh my god, yeah, this is rough."
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's probably right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like my brother is the master of that. People think he's so mean, and I don't know. He makes such a straight face, and you think, okay, this guy is serious, and then he laughs, and then everyone is so confused. Hey, Carl, I put there what's a heron. I guess that's.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. So in Portuguese, a garça. Garza. Okay.
Garza.
Well,
Garza.
Miguel Garza is Michael
Miguel
Heron.
Garza, that's what his name is. Ah, okay.
That's
So
he will be.
he's a heron as well, like you said. Whatever.
That's right. He'll be here next Wednesday, everybody. We'll probably talk a little bit about football, but Michael Heron with us next Wednesday. Okay, so we'll come back. But let's do this now then. Why? The poser of the day. Ela é muito bonita. However, ela tem muita seda. Now, the other part of this is, of course, hold on a minute. They put an N in where you can't see an N. Muito.
Yeah. This is a phantom N. Like
Phantom
it is there.
N. Okay, so it's called the Phantom N.
I don't know, but I call it that.
I think it's a great description of it.
Yeah, because it's like it seems that it's there, but it's not there. So
yeah, fair enough.
Don't go and write muito with an N, although it would make sense probably, but no, it's not there. But we say it muito, right. And then so the answer to this question is it has all to do with the fact that in the first sentence, ela é muito bonita. Bonita is an adjective. Okay, so bonita is an adjective. In the second sentence, sede is a noun.
Ah, okay, fantastic. There you go.
So
Mystery
whenever you have an adjective after muito, then it won't change. Muito stays muito. Obviously, it changes to plural. So no, it doesn't change to plural either. Forget what I said. So it doesn't change to plural. So in the first sentence, it doesn't change at all. So when you have an adjective after, it doesn't matter if you have feminine, masculine, plural, or singular, it doesn't change. It's always muito. Ela é muito bonita. Ele é muito bonito. Elas são muito bonitas. Eles são muito bonitos. So always muito. And then when you have a noun, like in the second sentence, so again, sede here is thirst, the thirst. Sede, that's a noun. So yes, it will change according to that noun. So if the noun is masculine, you have muito. So ele tem muito dinheiro. It has a lot of money because money, dinheiro is masculine. Yeah. But ela tem muita sede because sede is feminine. And then if you want, you can also say ali há muitas cadeiras. That's like there are a lot of chairs in there. You know, muitas cadeiras. And I don't know. Ele tem muitos amigos. He has a lot of friends.
Okay, so it's the adjective or the noun that makes the difference in this instance.
Yes.
Mia, that is so
it doesn't matter if it's ele or ela in this sense. It doesn't matter. What matters is what comes after the muito.
The object of the sentence, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. A few quickies then. If we could stick around for 5 minutes more, we'll get to all of your chat. But don't put any more in, everybody. We've got other things to do. Frank's got to go and meet people and do stuff. Cathedrals to build in the Algarve. Happy birthday to Stephen.
Happy birthday, Stephen.
Happy birthday, parabéns.
Parabéns a você.
Felicidades, muitos anos de vida. Hoje é dia de festa, cantam as nossas almas para o menino Stephen. Uma salva de palmas.
There you go, Stephen.
Cock-a-doodle-doo to you. Carl, that happens to me every time. I speak.
No. It's cock-a-doodle-cock. That's a Portuguese rooster. It's not going to say cook-a-doodle-doo or whatever you say.
Yeah. This is not a
rooster says cock-a-doodle-cock.
Oh dear, I wasn't expecting that this late in the show and to have to deal with this. But Guy just said cock-a-doodle-doo, which is, I believe, what the Queen might say, not a cock.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I say cock-a-doodle-doo to you, my dear friend. But in Portugal, falar... What was that?
Eu digo cock-a-doodle-cock.
I can't wait to take that segment out of the show.
Say it, Carl. After you,
Frank.
Cock-a-doodle-cock. Why don't you say it, Carl?
It's in your messages.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, fair play. It's got accents and everything. It's got accents and hyphens. Coco. Okay, that was fairly straightforward. That's going into the chat now. Should you need it this weekend? Okay.
Dogs also don't say woof woof here. They say ow ow.
Ow. Okay, now I've mastered that one. Oh yeah, I had last night. I took Jimmy Chew out for a walk, and he runs off, and then he came back, and it was dark. It was after the shows last night, and he jumped into the back of the car, and I patted him, and I don't know if your dog does this, Mia. What is that? He had been rolling in something in the dark.
They love it.
I affectionately patted his neck and felt some, I don't know, it was muito merda, I think. It didn't feel like good luck to me. Okay, so Kawaii Pandas, good morning to you. I speak with my partner. This is Portuguese Panic, but I'm a shy person, so in public I shut down. First time I ordered the traditional hot chocolate by just saying "si." It was a good laugh. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Somebody was asking what does poish literally mean? Is it like yeah?
It's very difficult to answer that because it depends on the context. It depends on the context.
So what could
poish is like something you say when you are agreeing with the other person.
Yeah.
So it's like right, poish. Right, or yeah. But it can also mean in other contexts, if it's like a connector or something, it can mean also because. Eu vou com ela, pois está bom tempo. I go with her because it's good weather, whatever. She maybe goes to the beach. I don't know. So it's also used like that. So it will depend on the context, but the majority of times it will be used in this context of agreeing with someone.
Yeah.
But also it's funny, actually, I also have this discussion a lot with Dominic lately because he's now more advanced in the language, right? He's actually he's really good. But there are certain things that I never thought about, obviously, as a native speaker. And he gets very confused because we use pois as well to ask, like, if I want you to agree with me, I say like, esta caneca é muito fixe.
Yeah, is this cup?
Não é, isn't it? Or like, I want to say like a pois é. You can also say pois é. Like, if you imagine I ask you this, esta caneca é muito fixe, não é? And you say, pois é. You know, and it gets confused when it's like pois é, and when it's não é, and when it's like, because there is another one. I don't know, like when it's, I have to think better about this. I might bring it next time, but it's really interesting because there are different sentences and there is pois involved sometimes, and he gets confused how to actually use it. And I think a lot of people will have the same.
It's a whole podcast, isn't it? A great.
In an effort to help this person with coffee, wouldn't you agree? This very famous coffee drink in Portugal, like when a person goes to order coffee, like let's say if they want coffee with like milk, like strong milk in there, wouldn't they like order? I think they should, next time when they go into a coffee shop, they should order like uma café com cheirinho forte. Don't you think that will make sure that they have strong milk in there, and it'll be like a nice bright coffee?
Yeah, he's just being cheeky.
He is. I can tell. I can tell that was going somewhere. Whatever it was, he said.
Café com cheirinho.
Café com cheirinho, and say it with a lot of love, and say forte, por favor. And they will make the most nice, beautiful cappuccino kind of drink for you. It'll be very refreshing. First thing in the morning.
Okay, yeah, Frank isn't messing around. If you want a milky coffee, ask for con cheirinho, mais cheirinho. If you like a nice milky coffee here in Portugal. Café con cheirinho, faz favor, if you like it milky.
And in the south,
You
and
are
in the south,
wait. Are you really for
Yeah.
real? Do you
and
really?
in the south, they will actually say the name of the milk is medronho. So they'll be like, oh, they'll ask you, oh, com medronho, and you'll be like, yeah, com medronho. It's a brand of milk. Don't worry about it. Just ask for medronho.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay,
is
I have
free.
to put some order in the house because people might believe you. Don cheirinho means with like a bit of alcohol mixed there.
What?
Like medronho is an alcoholic drink. I said it. You can't
Oh
fool people. I
man,
won't allow it.
this is
You won't allow it.
I've been doing this wrong all along.
That
Yes.
explains
Oh
a
my
lot.
It does explain a lot, doesn't it? It does explain a lot. Why is everything in Castelo Branco named Albi as a prefix? Do you know this?
Albi, I think this comes from the Moors. So it's
Yeah.
it's an Arabic prefix, I think. And Albi Castrense. I think that it has something to do with white, actually. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And there is the Barragem in central Portugal, Castelo Branco.
Not Austrian.
Not what?
Not it has nothing to do with German.
No.
Like I'll be back.
Not that I know of. I can ask Dominic. He probably knows better.
I was going for the Barragem joke there, Frank, which is I'll be damned. But anyway, okay, all right. My wife,
Geniuses think alike, Carl. What can I say?
my wife, keep taking the brandy and the coffee. My wife's leaving me because she thinks I'm obsessed with astronomy. What planet is she on? Oh my goodness! And portista for life there rather than a what is this? Portista for life. Portuense.
Wait, Carl, let me just say, I was right about Albi. Albi is like, it gives the notion of something white, and it comes from the Latin word albus.
An albino, of course.
Yeah,
Yes,
it reminded me now of Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
Of course it did. Harry Potter. Okay. What's this?
I'm a fan, so.
My wife told me she thought we'd have less arguments if I wasn't so pedantic. I told her I think you mean fewer.
Oh, goodness. That's awesome.
My key word is generally very few hard and fast rules that always apply. That's why I love accented vowels. Have you opened your accented vowels this morning, Mr. Holly? Last few comments then. Is there a car hire recommendation for Madeira for Chris? Look at this. Great stuff, guys. You've broken the 50% like barrier. We've had to work for it this morning then. 27 likes and 52 watching. Lovely names. Sounds so serene. Mariana, I think, is what's being referred to there. I can also show my name, to be frank. There's a joke in there, isn't there? We have many herons here. Heron is Garza. There you go. Thank you. Very helpful, Antonio F. There should be a warning when you stop drinking coffee. Cold turkey. Wow, the withdrawal symptoms are crazy. My head is banging. Sorry to hear that. You might go for a brandy instead.
He's been ordering café com cheirinho.
That's been the problem. He talked to Frank too early in his Portuguese career. Cucurucucu is how to say it. And a thank you.
Enter the coffee shop with cucurucucu and uma café com cheirinho, com medronho, and your day starts so brightly. You'll go out jumping and skipping outside the coffee shop.
It's Frank's formula. If I look at this dad joke, R.I.P. boiled water, you will be missed. Now you can't say that.
I also put a joke of, that I also know in English in your comments, Carl.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we'll come back to that in just a moment. Cindy B, fond of that light burn of his Muyta bem show. I love that when Frank enters the bar, it is still Bon dia, not Boa noite or Boa tarde. Frankie Trooper. Busted. Brilliant. Isn't Heron a grush, as in Dutch grush, like the wine? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Thanks, Neil Perkins. We know him. We know him, Frank. Perkins.
Yeah, this guy. He disappeared somewhere. I lost him. Alan from Tejo is lost in Alan from Tejo.
Yes, indeed. Oh, okay. We'll finish the show with that joke. Actually, that will finish the show, that joke, Mia. Okay.
No. I don't want to read it. You read it. I don't.
I've been a toaster, but it's all pop-ups. Oh, my goodness. Okay. We can't take any more. I don't think. We've got to finish. It's 8 minutes past 10. You think, what is this? your things are getting better when you use Portuguese words in your dreams and you remember. That's a sign. That's a great milestone.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's true.
Oh, no, one more. When my wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, I had to put my foot down.
That is good. I like that one.
That one is really cool.
My Portuguese isn't good enough. Yesterday, I tried to order 3 martinis and a beer and ended up with 3 martinis and beer cocktails. Yes, you've got to drink them anyway. That do the right thing. Joao have told me that when I use seen, there was more subtle agreement being implied, whilst push is more neutral. Like, okay, very good. And push has a S sound. Push or push, please. Push with a sh on there.
But it depends on what comes after, right? If it's a vowel sound, it will transform into a z. Pois é, for example. Yes. Pois é.
Ah, look at that. Grucious Crane, Neil. So lovely to see you. The wine club will be coming back in the autumn. We hope to get the old band back together. We're like the Blues Brothers of the wine world. We're getting the band back together for the autumn wine club. This is fantastic. I'm so sorry if I have missed any of your jokes or comments. You've been amazing, everybody, this morning, especially you, Mia and Frank. Thank you so much. It's been truly a feel-good Friday. Mia's joke, which she doesn't want to take credit for.
It's not mine. I just
know.
It's a language-related joke in English, and I thought it's funny.
What else would we expect?
It is funny. Put it up there. Forget about stage fright. Put it up there. Yeah.
Do you want to do this, Mia?
No, you can read it. It's because
what's the name of a dinosaur that knows lots of words and synonyms? It's a thesaurus. Very good. Yes, you get the coco for that. Fantastic. All right, brilliant, everybody. Well done. I've got a couple of sunsets. We can chill with a couple of sunsets. A sunset from Matosinhos and a sunset from the Algarve from Deagle. Thank you so much for those. It's I will
the link. Don't forget to learn Portuguese.
Learn Portuguese, absolutely. At least
hit the link button. You'll learn so many amazing things from Mia. How to hit the bar, how to order a coffee, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, don't forget Café con Chirinha.
No dry jokes.
Okay, no dry jokes. There it is. There's the code. Frank, Mia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. See you again soon. Thanks, everybody. Bom fim de semana, as we say.
Beijinho.
Here is the first of your sunsets, folks. And here is the next of your sunsets, folks. Okay, you've been amazing today. It was so much fun, wasn't it? Here's the next one. Oh, that's so relaxing, isn't it? Marvelous. Bon fin de semana, folks. Have a good one. See you on Monday. Ciao, ciao.